cats would you estimate are on the university campus?
I think it's close to 40. You know, on our, I'm sure we haven't counted them all, but in the various locations that we've identified, the total is about 40.
These cats look quite well. When you think feral cats, you somehow picture scrawny, mangy animals, but they could be sitting in somebody's lounge.
Yes, they could. These ones are particularly spoilt here because our Lauren here, he's also a cat lover, and he spoils them with fresh meat. And that's why they're exceptionally good looking and healthy.
Do you feed the cats on a daily basis?
Yes. Every single day I come in and I do a walkabout. I start off at Hart College, go down past the library, right around the buildings down there, down to the University Club. We do have a couple of residences there, and then all the way back. And it's essential to do this because it has its advantages as well. This way I can check on their health. Secondly, I can check if there's any newcomers or things like that. And the thing is that their health has been maintained by the supplementary feeding. Obviously, the food that they get out of the rubbish tins and what have you, we've stopped that now. So, you know, apart from the other things that they eat, their health is maintained, and they're all healthy-looking cats.
How do you stop?
And actually,
How were you able to get the cats to stop, you know, foraging into the bins?
Well, that is where the supplementary feeding came in. They're now fed on a daily basis, and there's no need for them to forage and go through all the litter bins, because it really was a problem. Every morning there was just litter all over the place because they had emptied them all in.
Are their numbers increasing on the campus?
Well, we've been in this program now 6 months, and I haven't noticed any new cats. There haven't certainly been any new kittens. So in the areas that we have identified, definitely there's been no increase, and it is controlled.
You talk about checking on their health. What exactly do you look for?
Well, any sign of them not eating, or if they'd injured themselves, or loss of weight, you know, things like that.
And how would you rectify such issues?
We would trap them and take them to the vet.
At your own cost?
Well, the university has agreed to meet the veterinary costs, but you know, the petrol and the other part, we would. Well, Jean Jacobs, she would do it on a voluntary basis. She'd come and trap them, but then obviously there's petrol costs and other costs involved that we have to bear ourselves.
Is there a vast difference if you look at the feral cats of the...
cut for a second with the motorbike, stand by and rolling.
I noticed that some of the cats, their ears have very jagged edges.
Oh yes, that is done to enable us to identify those that have been sterilised as opposed to those that haven't. The vet nicks the left ear, and so at a distance you can quite easily tell that they have already been sterilised. So it's a great help for us there to identify them.
Okay, stand by and ask a question there, please.
I promise you, brother.
The white one.
And action.
How many cats would you estimate there are on Durban University campus?
How many cats would you estimate are on the campus of the university? Again, yeah. How many cats would you estimate are on the campus?
These cats look quite well. You'd think feral cats are skinny. They are small.
Your next, please. Can I help you?
In a hot dog.
Oh, so the whole colony doesn't want it. Yeah?
Thank you. I'm on a video.
I don't know if she's still around. What was your name? Bruna Han?
It's waving.
You're blinding me.
And action.
Wendy, why do you think there are individuals on the university campus who don't want the cats around?
I think it's just that they believe that they're aliens and they don't have a place on the campus. They've come up with all sorts of, which I'm sure are relevant reasons, but
Can we start again? You need to get look. If you're going to look towards Julie rather than the other one, if you don't mind.
sorry.
Stand by, everybody. Let's wait for this.
Go on behind the cloud.
Everybody. Yeah. And rolling.
Wendy, why do the environmentalists at the university have such a problem with the feral cats?
There has been a problem, as because first of all, there's many buildings here, and the cats in their search for food were going into the buildings and spraying and marking their territory, and so it was unsightly with all the litter all lying all over the buildings in the morning, first thing in the morning. Their mating behaviour often involves fights.
Sorry.
Action.
Do they have a point, though?
Yes, they did have a point, because this campus is, it's such a beautiful campus, and with the cats behaving in those manners, it was unhealthy, unhygienic, and it just was unacceptable. The other reason was that they were breeding. They were they were uncontrolled, and they were breeding, and the population was increasing. So you had all these cats roaming around, marking their territory, as you like, all over the buildings, and the smell was really quite disgusting. And the population increasing and increasing, and another concern of theirs that the cats were killing the birds. And various other creatures that are protected environmental species. So they definitely did have a point.
So you can't blame them for reacting perhaps the way that they did?
Obviously something had to be done. And research shows, internationally, it is accepted that euthanizing cats or exterminating them is a short-term problem. Because sooner or later more cats move in, and you've got the whole scenario over again. So the ideal thing is, I think you just have to accept that feral cats will always be everywhere all the time. So the ideal situation is to have a controlled one, where the population numbers are controlled to manageable levels. The cats are healthy. There's no, because all our cats are inoculated against rabies and all the diseases and dewormed. So now you've got a healthy cat environment, and they're not going into the rubbish refuse areas and raiding, creating a hazard there too.
So while you do see their points, perhaps you part ways with the method with which they want to get rid of the cats, because you're saying you don't need to get rid of the cats. You can keep the cats, but control it.
Yes, you know, at a manageable level, which I think we have now reached.
How did you feel that these environmentalists were going around killing these cats?
Oh, I was very angry. I just thought it was very cruel, and I just, it wasn't acceptable.
Did it lead to tension between people like yourself and the environment?
Yes, there were a few angry words spoken, and I was accused of being an elderly woman without a life, and have since attached myself to cats. All sorts of ridiculous sort of statements, and you know, some people even considered me slightly insane to do what I do.
And how did you react to those statements?
Well, of course I was angry, and I did react, and I was told I was confrontational, and that you know.
How did it make you feel?
Very angry, very, very angry.
If we were to look at earlier you pointed out that some of the cats were dying at some stage. I mean, what do you think was going on then?
You know, since the inception of our feral cat managed program, it's a lot of hard work, and there is, I've got another caretaker, Jackie Saladas. She handles the science block area and the Albert Latuli residence, and she'd started the feed.
What does it mean? Okay, and ready?
Wendy, we heard that some of the cats were dying very mysteriously. What exactly happened there?
This is a mystery. We had just started our feeding program there, which takes about 2 weeks to draw the cats out, and you know, we feed at the same time, same place every day. And one of our caretakers, Jackie Salades, she had got the cats to the stage that we were ready to trap. And the cats just disappeared mysteriously, and 3 were found dead. You know, there's a lot of mystery surrounding this. It's just very, very strange that all 6 cats disappeared at the same time. You know, it's very disheartening. You know, we've got no proof of what happened, but
What's the general theory? What could have happened to those cats?
Well, we suspect poisoning.
Who could have possibly done that, and why?
I wish I knew, because it's the most dreadful thing to do. It really is. It's a very terrible, slow death. Horrible.
Wendy, how did you get involved with the goings-on of feral cats on campus?
It all sort of just happened. I became aware that this was in place, that it was a solution to, obviously, the very serious feral cat program. The university was working with the SPCA, that they would come on campus and at random just eradicate all the cats. We held a meeting with our executive committee, the risk management, and of course we got all the experts in the field, and at the end of the meeting it was agreed that we would be given the chance to offer the alternative, and you know, obviously start with the sterilise and return program, which has been successful everywhere, and it is internationally recognised.
The program sounds as though it's going ahead quite well, but where exactly then does the tension develop?
Well, there are those that believe cats are aliens, you know, especially as the university is an environmental protected zone, and they believe that cats are aliens and they shouldn't be on campus, or they shouldn't be here at all, and they're very passionate about it, and I suppose their passion for it equals my passion for cats.
Do they have a point though?
Well, they would do if the cats were creating the problem as they have been. You know, I mean, it is a valid problem. It is. Feral cats anywhere are a problem.
But now that the sterilization is going ahead...
It's all been done. Well, I haven't had any more complaints, so I presume all is well.
Has this affected personal relationships? Because like any university, relationships with other colleagues tend to be quite close. Has the issue of the feral cats perhaps soured relations between maybe people like yourself and the conservationists?
I don't really think so. You know, on the one hand, they're doing their job, and I believe I'm doing mine. So, you know, you've got to be able to compensate, and you've got to respect other people's views.
How would you feel if the very same people were now to say that they don't want the cats on campus despite the sterilization process and program that was put into place? They don't want the cats, alien species, and they're out. How would you react to that?
I'd start my fight all over again. I'd go, I think I'd do everything in my power to expose it and to stop them, whatever that might take. That sounds threatening, doesn't it?
Do you, they're saying that the cats are killing exactly
Yeah.
The birds.
the birds. Are they? Sorry, speak to Debbie.
Okay, I'll ask the question.
Okay.
Okay. Ready, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the conservationists say that the cats are killing birds. Is this true?
I myself haven't seen any evidence of it. You know, feathers and the usual telltale signs. I haven't seen, but apparently members of the environmental committee have actually seen a cat killing a bird. I don't know if how many birds or to what extent the birds, but I really don't know. You know, because first of all, their statement that the feral cat problem and, well, the feral cat population had exploded into intolerable. Well, you know, 40 cats on the size of a campus this big, it's not an explosion.
So are they exaggerating?
So, I wouldn't say exaggerating, but I think it's been slightly overstated because, you know, in our surveys and identification areas, we haven't found them to be, you know, that excessive.
What about rats and pest control?
Okay, and rolling.
Because the university grounds have been declared an important part in terms of wildlife and all of that, if these cats are killing even just one bird, surely that really is the concern.
I think that's the food chain. You know, somewhere down the line, you know, lions eat buck, cats eat birds. But the thing is that they're not killing them for food anymore because they have food. So, but honestly, I have not seen any evidence of a dead bird, and I walk this campus every day, and
So
I haven't seen anything.
if they're not killing them for food, then they're just killing for fun.
I don't know that they are, because I haven't actually seen feathers and
Do
evidence of it.
cats carry diseases?
I don't. See, I'm not really a veterinary. I'm not really experienced in that sort of field. But I should imagine, as humans carry diseases, cats would also carry a disease. You know.
Do you think the feral cats are contributing to the ecosystem of the university by killing rats and other rodents?
They do have a place here, and they are keeping the rat population down, the snakes, all that sort of thing.
Okay.
I've climbed up.
Really? I know.